If you've ever looked at your bank account and you've thought, how on earth am I supposed to get ahead with this? You're not alone. Most people think you need a big salary or a lucky break or to win the lottery to get wealthy. But here's the truth. Winning the lottery doesn't make you rich. If you don't know how to manage the money you have, you'll lose it, no matter how much you get. And that's why most people who win the lottery or receive a big inheritance still end up broke. They lose it just as fast as they got it. Wealth isn't about the amount of money you get, it's about the system you use to keep it and grow it. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to start, even if you're starting from zero. Before you ever see a change in your bank account, you must first change in your mind. So that's where we want to start today. We want to start in your mindset. I want to talk to you about this for a minute. School often has taught you a bunch of lies. Get good grades, get a good job. Time is money. And if you think that time is money, let's have a look at this. So if you think that time is money, you've probably heard multiple people say this. You probably even said it yourself. This is a lie. And what you don't realize is you've been programmed to think this way. Because if you believe this lie, then you'll trade a whole bunch of your time for a little bit of someone else's money. And it feels like life is costing you money. Sorry, when you buy something, it's costing you your life, because it is. And this lie, this reinforces that the only way to earn money is through trading my time. So because time is money, which means time equals money, so that means that the only way to get this, to get money, is to trade in your time, which is often, they teach you, get good grades and get a good job, right? And if you believe this lie, then you'll think that the only way to get money is through trading your time, through a job. So we need to change the way we think and understand that this isn't true. The reality, the truth is, time is greater than money, and actually it's infinitely greater than money, right? And I can prove this to you. If I was to give you $1 million today, and I said the only caveat, the only restriction is that you have to end your life today, would you take it? No, because you understand that your time is more valuable than the money, right? The opposite is also true. If you had a disease and there was a cure, and the only cure was $1 million, and that was the exact amount that you had in your bank account today, you would trade, and that was worked 100% of the time, and it was the only cure, the only way to get out of this disease, you would easily trade that $1 million for that cure, even though you could get hit by a bus next week, because you understand that you can get more money, but you can't get more time. So time is infinitely, I'll draw that a bit better, infinitely greater than money. Alright? Make that a bit more easy to understand. Sorry. So time is infinitely more greater than money. When we were kids, we were taught something. Often we were taught simple truths, right? We were taught black and white. We were taught right and wrong. And it's a way in our simple minds to teach children how to learn and how to develop. And as we grow older, we learn that's a lot more great. When I was growing up, I thought that when the sun was up, it was daytime, and when it was dark, it was nighttime, and then it got pitch black at night. right? That's what I thought. The light was on in the day, it was bright, and I didn't understand about the sun and the moon and the stars. Obviously, I was little, 5 or 6, and I thought at night it gets dark and it just goes pitch black at night, and that was my simple understanding. And then as I grow and develop, I learned that the sun and the moon and how it all works. And then some nights when you go outside with a full moon and a clear sky, beautiful day, you almost don't even need a light. You can see clearly on a bright night, right? You've probably experienced this yourself. And that's the same way with truth. Often we learn the simple truths to understand things, and then as we grow and we develop, we learn different things. And if we believe this lie, if we stop and we learn that time is money, and we stop there and we believe that, that's going to outwork in the way we live our lives, right? But really, time is infinitely greater than money. And that is how we need to live our life. Because if you believe the lie that time is money, the only way to get money is trade your time for it. But we also know that that's not true. If you think about it, there's multiple people, millionaires, billionaires, and there's no way that they could have a job that pays them $1 billion an hour, right? That's ridiculous. So there must be other ways to make money. But the problem is, if we believe the lie that time is money, and we often say that lie, then we'll only look for ways that'll fulfill that solution, that truth, that belief that we have. But if we learn to change our beliefs, grow our beliefs, develop our beliefs, we can look for alternatives. We can look for other ways. So if we delete that lie from our beliefs, that'll be hard. But if we keep learning and keep growing, then we can learn different ways, that we can learn this truth, that time is infinitely greater than money, and therefore we can learn new ways, new solutions to fulfill that. For example, investing, business, royalties, social media. There's a whole bunch, drop shipping, stocks, bonds. There's a whole range of Airbnb, right? I'm just listing a few, not even thinking about it. But there's a whole range of ways to make money, not just through trading your time for money. So that's really important. If you get that key first, if you get that mindset shift first, then what we're going to jump into next is going to be helpful. But I can give you all the tools, all the skills, but if you don't change your belief, you won't outwork them, you won't live them, and it won't change your day to day. So, principle number 1. So, we talked about mindset. So, principle number 1, manage. Manage. If you can't manage a little, you won't be able to manage a lot. Often, as I talked about before, people that win the lottery or get inheritance, they lose it just as quickly as they got it because they don't learn the skills. Money doesn't make you wealthy. You have to learn the skills and the mindset to be able to manage it properly. When I broke my neck, I had no job. I went from being young and independent to being on a pension. And now the pension isn't much. It's not a lot. But it wasn't easy at the start, and I had to just accept this is my life right now. But I didn't have a lot of money, but I learned to do something really quickly. I learned to look at it differently. I learned to start building my money habits, and I had to spend less than I made. And this was a conscious choice, a conscious effort. I needed to make sure that there was more money left at the end of the month than more month left at the end of the money. And I'll be honest, money management isn't about how much you earn, it's about what you do with when you get it. Because if you can't handle $500 a week, why do you magically believe that you'll be able to handle $5,000? And often when we upgrade our income, we upgrade our lifestyle, and that's a bad trap. Okay, the truth is, if you don't manage your money, someone else will. They'll manage it and they'll keep it for themselves. So you've got to be really conscious of that. And if you get this principle right first, the next steps will be easier. Okay, step number 2. You need to learn to multiply it. Money is a seed. If you just eat it, it's gone. But if you plant it, then it grows into more trees, more fruit, more food to eat. When I started to manage my money better, I realized something. If I only saved, I would always be limited to what I could put aside. Saving's good, but it's not enough. A seed is setting something aside so it can grow and change. For me, planting looked like learning how to invest. Not gambling in the stock market, not chasing to get rich quick schemes, but investing in myself first. Books, seminars, mentors, coaches, and I started to understand things, and eventually it led me to buying my first rental property. And here's the thing, you don't need to buy a big amount to start multiplying, you just need an extra bit. You need to manage it and then have money left over so you can multiply it. Okay, the truth is most people never multiply their money because they believe the only way to earn it is again to trade their time for money. But when you learn to multiply, you start to learn new ways, new opportunities to grow your wealth. Imagine planting an apple tree, and the first year you might get a few apples, but every year after that you get more and more and more fruit because the tree produces more fruit as it grows, and that's how you multiply it. Okay, principle number 3. Move. Money is always moving, and if you don't tell it where to go, it will leave you on its own. Think about a river. It flows, right? When a water sits there still, it becomes stagnant and stale and nothing can grow in it. But when it's moving, when it's flowing, it breathes life. And it's exactly the same with your money. If your money doesn't have momentum, direction, purpose, it's just going to go stale and it's going to eat away and rot. When I started with just my pension, I realized I didn't move my money on purpose. It just moved by itself. Junk food, little treats, new clothes, wasted opportunities. Moving my money means giving it an assignment before it leaves my hands. That's why our budget isn't a restriction, it's about direction and purpose. Every dollar has a job. It's got something to do. I'm sending it. I'm not just flivering it away. And here's the key. Unmoved money soon is lost money. That's why lottery winners, athletes, or people who inherit a fortune lose it. They never gave their money movement with structure. You need to tell your money where to go. Stop wondering where it went. Okay, and number 4 is maintain. Maintain. That's not great, is it? Maintain. Wealth isn't built by what you get, it's built by what you keep. It's one thing to make money, it's another thing to keep it. And that's where most people fall down. Think about a car. You can buy the best model, but if you don't maintain it, change the oil, change the tyres, change the brakes, service the engine, get a checkup, it'll break down. And money works the same way. If you don't maintain it, consistent habits, it slips through your fingers. You have to build habits to keep on top of it. Keep checking it. Weekly checks, monthly checks, daily checks. Keeping your money, there's a bit of work to it. Getting big inheritance doesn't make you wealthy because you didn't learn how to manage it in the first place. You didn't learn how to multiply it or move it or maintain it. And that's why people often just lose it as quickly as they get it. Same with athletes. Athletes often earn lots of money. They have a big break and they sign a contract. But when they retire, when they end their career from maybe an injury, unfortunately, they lose it. They go backwards so quickly because they didn't learn any skills. Maintenance looks like tracking every dollar, reviewing and planning, sticking to habits, making decisions before the moment happens. It's not flashy, it's not exciting, but it's glue that holds everything together. Mastery, multiply, move. None of it matters if you can't maintain. Okay, so let's bring this all together. When you're starting with nothing, the world will try and convince you that you're stuck. that you don't have enough, that you're always behind. But that's a lie. You master what you have, even if it's just a pension like me, a few $100. You can multiply it by cutting waste, increase income, and look for smarter ways to grow it. You can move it. You can put it in the right places, give it purpose, give it direction, instead of it just sitting still. And you can manage it. You can keep on top of it. It's not a lottery. It's not just going to come into your hands. It's by breaking it down step by step, assigning jobs to it. You don't need to wait for a miracle like winning the lottery or some big break. You just need to start where you are. Start today. Start with what you have. Use these 4 steps to start building in habits in your life. What's one step that you can take today? What's one thing that you can take out of today's video that you can apply to your life today? Maybe it's sit down and start tracking your spending. Maybe it's cutting a small expense. Maybe it's finally starting a side hustle. Whatever it is, start. Do something today. Don't just let this be educational, but it's got to motivate you to get you moving. Because the best time to build your future was yesterday. The second best time is today. So, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you on the next video.